The most asked question that I get is if some sort of activity makes money or not, and most of the time my response is you have to do the math. I can't tell you how much you'll make from it or what is the best, but today's video, I am going to do the math. I'm just going to do the math on every possible way to make money in Albion Online from Bridgewatch on the East server. This does not apply to West, and this may not apply super deep into the future. You'll have to do the math yourself. But for today, I'm going to be doing all the math and estimates and calculations for you because it's what everyone wants. So let's get into it. So first and foremost, the most steady way to make money, especially as a new player and even as a high-spec, max-tiered, high-geared character, is just simply gathering. So if you're from Bridgewatch, you want to be gathering stone, and you want to be gathering stone preferably in Saddle Tor, which is over here, but it's not open yet. But even then, you have to, for now, do Vixen Tor. You could try Gopher's Knoll, but you can also do Yellow Zones. Believer Tor is probably going to be your best bet, though. Halden Tor, anywhere that's like a Tier 4 zone, because the Tier 2 stone is super high in demand. And out of all the main resources around Bridgewatch, stone on average sells for the most and is the most plentiful and is currently the least farmed. Of course, runner-up would be leather. Leather is kind of sinking in the market at the moment, and the reason why leather is always like the big deal at the towards end game, like a year or two from now, is baby drops. But currently, fawns are selling for actual garbage for some reason on East. But anyway, the answer is stone. Go gather stone. Next question is, should you refine? And the answer is, if it's Tier 2 stone, yes. Currently, as of March 31st, you should be refining your Tier 2 stone into stone blocks. You don't need to wait until the daily activity here is stone. You can see that today's daily activity is actually hide. And even with the bonus to hide, it's still not worth doing over stone currently. Alright, and if it is over here on the corner, if it is 20% stone day, obviously the prices are going to go all crazy. But here's the thing, Tier 3 and up, you should only refine it if you own your own station. To own your own station, you'll need your own island. To get your own island, you need premium, or you need to pay 1 million silver. Well, it's actually around, what is it, 648,000 silver as of the global discount for your own guild. Okay, and then you have to buy the guild island, which I heard is 2 million. So you're going to need to put in a lot of silver to make your own guild island. And yes, in the long run, it is absolutely worth making, but in the short term, as a new player, you have other priorities you need to focus on, and that's just too darned expensive, so don't bother. Next up, people always ask, should I be doing dungeons? And the answer is no. There is not enough people feeding the black market on East for you to get hardly any drops. Simply put, people are crafting at a huge profit at the moment, being fed by their guilds and their friends. Crafting is not a solo endeavor unless you are credit card swiping. So the reason why people aren't feeding gear to the black market is because real players are paying more money, therefore there's no reason for someone to sell to the black market. So do not be doing solo dungeons. Solo dungeons are 6 times slower for fame, and all you're going to get are runes and silver bags. Same thing with corrupted dungeons. Unless you are actively killing players and chasing your corrupted dungeon infamy rank, there's no reason to play them. People from West are basically they're basically smurfing over here. There are people in the top 100 for infamy that are currently just non-stop invading corrupted dungeons and just kicking butt. And unless you want to play that rock, paper, scissors game, it's very slow to clear a corrupted dungeon with a proper PvP build. It is not fast. So unless you're one of those players, you're probably not watching this anyway. But as a regular player or a new player, avoid corrupted dungeons. It's the same thing. You're just going to get silver bags and runes and souls and relics, and that's basically it. Also, there's way more tome chests in corrupted dungeons too. And unless you're in 8.3 speedrunning, Yellow Zone dungeons, you're still not going to get anything. It's super rare to get an item drop right now, so don't even bother. Now, group dungeons, I don't have friends. I don't run group dungeons with people. As a new player, you can't solo these without, very high specs and very high tier gear. So don't bother asking me about group dungeons. So faction PvP can earn you silver through buying hearts or by buying the chest. The chest reward is so much more worth it. Here's the thing with the PvP, though. Because so many people are doing it during prime time, the rewards are split amongst everybody in the entire faction participating. What this means is that if you go onto the test server where you are the only person logged in and flagged for Bridge Watch, and you go solo an outpost, you're getting 10,000 faction points every, like, minute. But if you log in during prime time and you cap a point or you down some players in a yellow zone, you're maybe getting 600 to 900 every 15 to 45 minutes from the reward. And the reason why is because it takes every participant currently in the faction war and divvies up the points, not equally, but it's weird how it divvies up. But basically, if you play during off hours and you go down a player, you can get 3,000 to 5,000 points super easily and super quickly. So this is only available during off hours. I'm still trying to technically figure out what off hours are for East server. I actually think it's like the United States prime time, like 7 p.m. like Central, you know, something like that. I'm not entirely sure yet. I'm still experimenting on what hours get the best points. Let's get down to some numbers. This is why you clicked on the video. Open world mob farming will earn you about 128,000 silver per hour. Tier 4 blue zone, I don't know why I typed BZ, that means blue zone, gathering with a tier 5 set, which you can get on your first day with no Avalonian tool, will earn you about 350,000 per hour. And this is through stone mining and without any tome drops, okay? Should you fish? The answer is absolutely no. You should not fish, not one bit. Fish on this server is incredibly botted, except for tier 7 and 8. Tier 7 and 8 fish are not botted, but everything below that is heavily, heavily botted, and the prices are actually cheaper than on West, which is, it's crazy. There's a lot of bots on this server. I'm going to be real honest with you, and SBI does not like me, like, pointing out that there's hackers, speed hackers, cooldown hackers, and disconnect hackers. There's so many freaking hacks right now. But I'm not going to harp on that because SBI, again, they don't like it when I talk about that stuff. But there's a lot of botters botting all resources. It's not just fish. So do not fish. It is just bottom of the barrel. So let's talk about laborer flipping. Now this was one of my biggest and best money makers on West when the game was still kind of fresh. And guess what? On East, it is amazingly good, because due to the global discount, buying your first tier 2 laborer costs maybe 500 to 600 silver. And you can immediately put it on the market and sell it for 2,000, and after taxes and rounding down, you're making 1,000 silver profit if you just do that. If you just need raw silver, you can put down 100 laborers, scoop them up, put them on the market, and boom, you just made a huge profit off of people's laziness. Because they don't want to, like, go to do a labor, you have to go to your house and click on a parchment paper. I have plenty of videos about laborers and how they work on my channel, so feel free to search it up, because this is not the video to teach you that. But essentially, you have to click on a piece of parchment to get the laborer, and then you place it down. But if you do this and you pick them up, they become an item in your inventory, and you can just put them on the market. And if someone wants 200 laborers, they'll just go buy them off the market because they're too lazy to do it one at a time. So you can profit massively off of their laziness. But it gets even better, because it only takes 1 to 2 days of real life time to grow that tier 2 laborer into a tier 3 laborer. And each of those laborers that you paid 500 silver for will now sell for minimum 30,000. That is the cheapest ones. Not the super expensive in demand ones, which should probably be tinkerers and blacksmiths. Okay, but it gets even better, because after like anywhere from 2 to 4 days from tier 3, you will have a tier 4 laborer, which is 150,000. This is insane. This is a wildly expensive, super high price. 150,000 for the cheapest of laborers. And if you spend 7 to 10 days in total from tier 2 to tier 5, that will make you 500,000 minimum per laborer. So if you manage to get a guild hall sat down, a tier 5 guild hall, and you level up, you can level up laborers with generalist journals. It's basically free. Everything you do generates fame. And so these are super easy to fill and level up laborers. It's insane. It's free money. It is absolute free money. This is so good that I almost didn't make this video public. But I just need to give you guys a nice video every once in a while. And most of my channel members know the importance of laborers, and those playing on East have already set up their guild islands, are already doing this. So now's your chance, okay? They've gotten like 11 days head start over you guys, okay? And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can become a channel member. The join button is right down here where my cursor is bouncing. It's $5 a month. You get access to private, more personal videos that are too good for the public, okay? And those guys get the advanced guides, advanced flipping guides, really good stuff, totally worth supporting me. And thank you so much for that spiel. But tier 6 through 8, these take a little bit longer to grow because you would need to fill tier 5 journals, which don't take too long. But you're looking at another 4 to 5 days, and they don't even have a market price because no one has gotten houses, and like the mainstream people don't have their guild halls that high, or a demand for laborers yet. They're still stuck in the stone ages of tier 4 and 5. So again, if you get tier 5, that takes a week. That's 500,000 per laborer, 15 laborers per guild hall. So what is 500,000 times, what is that, 15? That is 7.5 million silver per week. That almost allows you to buy premium after 2 weeks. You can afford a premium and a half almost. Okay, well, not quite a premium and a half, but you get the idea. This is probably the best part of this video. Next up is rune soul and relic flipping. So what we see here is a tier 4 relic. If you buy it with a buy order and then sell it at the lowest sell order, you will make 350 per. And these things, they just go so fast. You can just flip these like pretty quick, because hundreds of thousands are sold per hour. All right, tier 6 and 7 and 8, the numbers are on the screen. You can see tier 8 is huge. Not as much movement on tier 8, so it does take longer. And then, of course, tier 6 souls 100, not a big deal. Tier 7 and tier 8, though, are almost 2,000. Well, tier 7 is almost 2,000, tier 8 is over 2,000, so those are pretty good flips. Though, you're not going to get a lot of tier 8 souls. Like, it's just, they're not in high demand. But it's still a flip you can do. So, furniture flipping is pretty simple. You click on a piece of furniture, you go here, you go to furniture, and then you check all the furnitures, and what you do is if you go and salvage a piece of furniture, you'll get 3/4 of the value back. So we can see here this Keeper Firebowl. Let's just search for that. We'll type Firebowl. Okay, and so we can get the cheapest one. 780. You see the item value is 1,800. So we should get about, let's see what that math is. 1,800 divided by 3. I'm sorry. 1,800 divided by 4 is 450 silver off. So 1,800 and then minus 450 is 1,350. So I'll just show you. We're going to pay 780 for this right now. And then we're just going to go take it to the repair bench and salvage it. And we should, like I said, get back 1,350 silver, which means we a little bit under doubled what we paid. So we're getting that money back and some extras. So let's go to the salvage here. We'll pop in the fire. 1,350 silver. There we go. I just made 700 something silver. So all you have to do is just search through all the furniture. There's plenty on there. It's surprising that not a lot of people have done this. And so one quick way to do it is you just go to buy order and look at all the, like you can see here, you can just buy all of them that are under, so we can just set a buy order for 1,349. No, that's not, no, that's how many we want. 1,349. And how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and then 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we'll do 14, right? And there we go. We're paying 19,000 silver. Go ahead and pick these up. No, it doesn't take too long. And there's no fee for salvaging, by the way. It's just free money. Satisfied? All right, so now it says this estimated market value is 11K. But again, there are so many different pieces of furniture you can do this with, and I have a video on my channel that explains how to do this. But this is just something you can do in every city. It doesn't have to be Bridgewatch. But you can see here, now I'm going to get 18.9K back. There we go. It's just free money. I just made free money, and it only took a few minutes. It's super easy. And remember, you can set buy orders for these too, and that's the real secret, right? So I paid 506 for this Keeper's Bowl, and I paid 74 for this Flame Bow. All right, so let's see. That's under 600 silver that I've spent, and the setup fee is like, it's like 2 digits. Okay, so even if we round that up to 700, which it's not, but we'll say it's 700 for the math people out there that are upset. And look at this, we get back 1,500. It's just free money, and it may not seem like much, but if you do this in every town and you maintain this, then it's just free money constantly flowing, okay? Now, the next flip is super obvious, but it's the gold market. So, I've made a whole entire video on the gold market, but what you want to do is you want to buy gold at the lowest peak within 24 hours, or not the lowest, but the second one. So that would be 3,219. So what you would do is you would do a gold buy order. So you would do 3,219 per 1 gold, 3,219 per 1 gold, and then, you know, just set it for like, set it for a week. It doesn't matter because it literally costs 10 silver to set up these buy orders, and then you could do like 10 gold, right? So I would pay 32,190 to set this up, and then what you want to do is set the same thing but to sell it once you start having gold. So you would set this instead of 3,219 for your sell order. Once you have gold, you set it at the peak, so 3,281. So you would do 10 gold, and you would sell it for 3,281, okay, for 1 week. And again, it's only going to cost you 10 silver. And you'll see what we're doing is, let me do some math here, 3,281 subtracted by 3,219, and then subtracted by 20. So we're making 42 silver, not even, because the buy order is just a one-time fee. So it's actually going to be 62 times 10. So this flip right here would make us 620 silver. Okay, so let me show you how this scales up. This is 620 silver. This is 6,000. This is 60,000. This is 600,000. This is 6 million. And this is 6... Whoops. Well, you get the idea. That would be 60 million silver flip that you can do every single day. 60 million silver every day. But of course, to have, what is this, 1 million gold? Bro, that's going to cost you a lot of silver. Just to buy 1 million gold would cost you, let's see, it would cost you 3.3 billion. So you can see that once you're a multi-billionaire, which I am on West, you can do this every day and just, you could buy like a year's worth of premium in 2 days, every day forever. The rich get richer. Speaking of, I just spent 14,000 on some fireballs. Let's go pick them up. And, oh, I guess it was somewhere, well, I don't know. But essentially, yeah, I can go get more, I can do more flips. Also, you need to maintain your flips, and that's pretty simple to do. You simply go to this tab that says My Orders, and here at the top is your buy orders. Make sure that your filters up top are all cleared. Then you just make sure that you're the top buy order, which someone just overbought me here, so I'm going to just push it to 15. There we go. Now, doing that cost me 192 silver. I'm going to make that back. Well, in this one, look, someone went above me, so I need to go up for a little bit. That's going to cost me 237 silver. Well, guess what? If I buy this for 21 silver and then sell it for 450, I made that back in one sale. So it's not a big deal. And this does artificially raise the prices on a lot of things, and people will be doing this. There are bots that do this, so you're kind of competing. Look, this guy just went up to 250, so we'll go up to 251 now. There we go. And again, I just put these in like not even a minute. Oh, see, someone's 150, so 151. There you go. And this is why you don't want to do really large quantities either. So I'm just, you know, I'm just doing 1 silver over everyone else's buy order so that if someone quick sells, I get the sale every single time on these items. You can also sort it by price. You can see right now I'm doing tables for 90,000. Right now I'm the top bidder on that, 41k, because all I have to do is if someone sells me a bed for 41,000, I just relist it for 63,964, and then I sell that, and it's a huge difference. So every once in a while, just like 2 or 3 or 4 times a day, you just got to check your buy orders. And then that's kind of the boring part of flipping, is you just have to check all of these to see if anyone else has overbid you. And if they have, you just overbid them by 1 silver and you pay the fee. So it's not so bad. And you can see I'm just raking in stuff. The next one is actually enchanting items. So we're going to take a battle axe, which is a tier, we're going to go with tier 4 flat. All right, and so if we buy this, we buy it for 2,978. Now you can do this cheaper with a buy order if you want to profit even more, but I'm not in this next example because I want quick sales. Even though these things are selling at least, it looks like anywhere from 7 to 15 per hour. So you could set your buy order, you know, like for 15 at 2001, and there you go. So then you buy 144 runes. So you go here and you always use buy order. But in this case, well, it's 1 over. So you type 100 and we'll just click this one and you do 144, and that's going to cost you 6,000. And here, I'll just show you the text. So we bought the battle axe for 2978, then we bought the runes for 6,200. So we spent 1,978. Then we take the 4.1 battle axe and we sell it for 10,998. Which is the current, what is it, cheapest one if I undercut here by 1. There we go, 1098. 880 for the setup fee, or I'm sorry, 880 tax, 275 setup fee. Final profit, 665 silver. And you may be thinking, well, that's not very much. And you're right, it's like killing a few mobs. But you have to think of this in terms of mass scaling. You're not doing this one at a time. You're setting buy orders for 10 to 15, and you're not just doing it for battle axe. You're doing it for cursed staff. So let's look at cursed staff flipping opportunity. You have to find the good market for. We just want regular cursed staff. So 3,995. If we 0.1 it, look at that. It's now 14,000. So we take that 6,200 and we're turning that into 10,000. So you can see that it's a huge flip. Okay, it's a massive flip if we did it with cursed staff. So here, I'll show it to you live. So, cursed staff, okay? So we're going to buy the cheapest, you know, flat cursed staff, not the great one, just the regular, so 3,995. Let's see if we can get a better quality one for cheaper, 3,999, that's good. Let's see, yeah, it's a little more expensive there. So we'll buy a good one. We'll say this is 4,000 to make it simple. Yes, I can't equip it, I know. Now we'll buy runes, tier 4 runes. And there we go. I want to buy 144 of them for 6,000. Okay. So we've spent 10,000 silver right now. And this is all like, with a mount, you can do this so much faster, right? With a mount, you just run over to the enchanter. And you can even push your luck if you want. You can take it to the repairman and you can re-roll the quality, which I can't seem to click on him. Oh, he's down here. I'm clicking in the wrong spot. So you got to reroll quality for 1,368. I have a % chance to increase this, and you know that can become a gamble, that can become a loss. But right now we're a guaranteed win, and all we had to do was walk a few feet over here to this enchanter, throw this in. It costs nothing except the runes. We enchant it, 29k. Well, it says our estimated market value went down, but we know from the market that it did not, because we only had 10,000 in our inventory. And now we have this cursed staff, which is nice. It's a 4.1. And you don't have to stop at runes. You can check souls and relics, but those don't sell as often. 4.1 sells much more often, much more faster. And so we take it here, and we go to sell, and we're going to undercut by 1, and there we go. So we're making 13,795, and we paid 10,000 something. So we made 3,700 something silver from that flip. And you just do this for every item that you research, okay? I know I said I would do the math for you, but I'm not going to do the math on every single item in the game. Just pick your favorite items that you want to, you know, enchant, and then just run with it. You can find some really wild flips doing this. Now, I'm going to show you a really quick and dirty way to calculate rune gambling. This is not the absolute best way. This is the dirty method. You're going to take the value of a rune. A value of a rune right now, if we bought it from the market, was 42. 42, here, I'll show a calculator, make this simple for you. So we're going to take 42 and multiply it by 50. This means our buy-in for this gamble is 2,100 silver. So what this means is, and we're going to do this the dirty way, you really need to actually check the market before you do this, because every market's different, but this is just a quick and dirty method, okay? So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 different items here. And what you want to do is click and unclick an item and then check its estimated market value. Anything below 2,100 is a loss. So that's a loss. That's a loss. That's a win, but it's barely a win. So that's a win. Loss. Loss. Win. Big winner. Jackpot. win, and win. So that is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 winners. 6 winners out of 10 means you have a 60% chance to profit when you gamble this one. So next, we're going to go to, well, what is this one? I don't know. It's the mage one, okay? So that's a win. So 1, 2, 3, 4, big, 5. So 6 out of this one too. All right, next up is hunter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now this is 6 out of 9, so this is a much better odd. And what was this one? 6 out of 9 also? Okay, last one. This one is just free for all, so you would have to, you know, count all of these too. And so essentially when you find one that has the best odds, that's when you do the deep math. So that would be hunter, I believe. So what you have to do now is you have to add every single one of these. So, and you would do this from Bridgewatch's market. You wouldn't want to do this from the estimated market value because it'd be completely different city by city. But we'll just do it just to show you. And what is this? 22,288 plus 3525 plus 1013. Whoops. Plus, okay, 23,390 plus 3618 plus 1,400 plus 34,570 plus 7,334. And that is 98,165 divided by 24689. Divided by 9. So we're going to take that. Divided by 9. So on average, this is the average, every time we roll those runes, we're going to average 10.9, almost 11,000 silver, which is pretty good. So let's try that right now. So I'm going to buy 250. That gives us 5 rolls, essentially. And is there enough? Maybe. Let's go here. We'll do... Let's bump it down to 200. Okay, so that's 4 rolls at 9,000-ish silver. Let's make sure we got all... Oh, I've got some of these other... some of my other flips have been cashing me out. You know, these are just free money, right? It's not a lot, you know. This is like 300 additional silver we can get from those two. But we have 4 chances now. And it's pretty simple because we're just going to look at our estimated market value. Let me just get rid of these real quick. Salvage those for 300 silver. And there we go. Our estimated market value is completely off. Remember, this is only really 9,000 silver to us. Okay, and we were going to do the hunter tree. So let's hit all 4. So let's see if this goes up or down. But let's see. First one. First one was this. So we lost 1,000. Yikes. Okay, let's try again. Okay, we lost. We got the same one. The worst one. We lost 2,000. Okay. Let's go. Isn't that the same? No? Okay. So we lost another 1,000. Wow. Okay. Last one's okay, look at that. We got a jackpot. We did get a little jackpot here. So we might have doubled our money, even though we lost 3 times. Okay? A little scary, you know, even though it's not a lot of money in the long run. But if these were like tier 8 relics you were gambling with, it can get kind of stressful. But the jackpot is even much higher. So let's see how much money we made. Okay, so let's go sell. And remember, I didn't check the Bridgewatch market, but let's see. So right here, we made our money back because we paid 9,000 for the runes, and this already is worth 10,000. We're not quick selling it, by the way. So there we go. These, however, are garbage. So, yeah, these were fails. But we did make our money back when that sells. So we can either keep gambling, which would, well, the thing is, the more you gamble with runes, the more you're raising the price of the runes. Right? And now there's an opposite way that you can also gamble with runes. The next one is artifact flipping. So we have an artifact here. Let me close my calculator. We paid 370 silver for this, even though it's listed at 2,000. It's currently selling for 370. When we salvage it, we get back 96 silver and 10 runes. So here's the math on that, okay? We paid 370 silver, and then here's the return. So 42 times 10 is 420 silver if we sell it back. And then plus 96, which is the raw silver we get, is 516. You take that, you minus 370, which is what we paid. We made 146 silver with this flip. Now, of course, if you sell the runes, then obviously, well, you know, you have to pay the taxes and the listing fees and stuff like that. But you would, you know, this is just a way to get runes even cheaper than what the market shows. So basically, yeah, it's pretty simple. And here is how to know if it's worth doing or not. Here is the price, 370. You take the item value, you're going to get back 3/4 of this when you salvage, and then you're going to get back 1/5 of this when you salvage. So that means 96 plus 10, so 96 silver plus 420 would be 500 something. So it's absolutely worth it. To check the worth, you simply just search for runes, and then you just see how much 10 of them would cost you. 10 would cost 420. So essentially, you buy all artifacts under... you just click artifact, and then you buy everything under 420. And there's a bunch. Okay, you can see that there is a whole lot. So we can just buy all of these, and yeah, we're getting... Like even the ones that are 420, well, you have to check the item value also, but like this would be kind of break even, right? So here, let's do some very quick math. 32 divided by 4 is 8, so 32 minus 8 is 24, plus 420 is 444, so we still win with that one, okay? And some of these have a higher item value than others. You just have to check what it is. But like looking at this one, 448, you still kind of win. You still kind of win with that one. But so what you do is, let's just go back to the first page, and then just go on a little shopping spree. There's 10. Let's see, that's 20. 30, and then 40. So right now we have 50 runes, right? And so you could just mass buy them out and then mass gamble, but I'm just going to show you this is a cheaper way to also gamble the runes, or you can just sell the runes. You could just sell the runes, but you know, sometimes it's fun to gamble. You know, this can get addicting. I'm warning you. Now, the only bad thing too is that this doesn't strengthen your character. This is an activity that you can spend all day doing, and it's fun, but you're not leveling up, you're not getting higher tiered anything. So we're just gonna go here and then pop another gamble. Let's see if we win or not. And we got maybe a win. Let's go check the market. This is worth 7,000. And if we spent 400 on each of those artifacts, that's only 2,000 that we spent, and we made 7,000. So this is a 5,000 silver win. Imagine if you're doing this in mass bulk with buy orders. If you're just mass buy ordering all of these things and doing this constantly, it can be crazy. But let's see how much this is currently. Oh, no, not at all. You see, the estimated market value is 7,000 somewhere. Somewhere out there, someone is using these. And so that brings us to our next point, is transport flipping. Where in the world is this druidic inscription worth anything? Because it's pretty darn worthless here in Bridgewatch. But let's see, like, was it expensive? It was expensive at one point, and then it went down, and now it's dirt cheap. So why is that? Well, I don't know, but technically if we sell this now, that's a 1,500 silver loss. So that's a bummer. But maybe somewhere that item is worth something, so let's check. So instead of checking every town, I'm just going to give you the quick and dirty. So if we took a bunch of these druidic inscriptions, which in Limhurst they were super cheap, they were going for 500. And if I spent 7 minutes on an ox traveling to Fort Sterling, I could sell them for almost triple the price, a little under triple the price here in Fort Sterling. So imagine I loaded up a whole crap ton of them, and then hauled them over here to Fort Sterling and listed them. I would be making a nice little turn of profit for a short amount of travel time. But just to be safe, You do want to check the sales volume. You can see here that none sold that hour, 10 sold that hour, 3, 1, 4, 3, 78. To me, that's a really low sales volume, and I don't think that's worth really transporting large amounts of items for just that amount. I like fast sales and large amounts of sales. So I want to talk about faction heart transports, which I have never recommended on this channel, not one bit, but it is a method to make silver. So if you do the quick trips, which for me at Bridgewatch would be to Martlock, because the one in Limhurst is further away. So we would do the one to Martlock, and that would cost us 15 hearts, and we get 19 hearts in return. This is 160,000 silver per trip, and both ways is about 7 minutes, so it's about a 15-minute trip if you don't get stopped, if you don't have to run from gankers, if you don't have to run from transport gankers and other just problems, especially if you run into a faction fight blob or something like that. You're risking 600,000 silver worth of hearts. If you even just get dismounted, accidentally despawn your mount, disconnect, your internet goes out, people are able to break your bear mount, which, by the way, you would only use a bear mount for this and nothing else. Not unless you're tier 8.3 in plate with an Avalonian shield on a faction boar. That is the only exception right now, and that is not possible on East. So you're risking 600,000 to make 160,000. So you need 4 of these, which you can get in 1 hour, to barely be ahead of your risk. And you're not growing your character, you're not leveling up, you're not getting more faction points, you're not speccing up your gathering or your fame or anything. You're just barely making scraps of silver. Next up is credit card swiping. If you spend 100 real-life dollars, this will buy you 19,000 gold, which will buy you 60 million silver. This is instantaneous, and this is totally dependent on how leveled up you are in the real world. Next up is being a YouTuber such as myself. This is not available to everyone, but if I make one video where I tell you guys to use the referral link and buy Founders Packs, which I've made one video on my channel about that, which was a little while ago, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, every time someone buys a Founders Pack with my referral link, I get 1,000 gold. So you can see here I have 22 referrals to claim. So I have 22,000 gold, which I can use on West or East, at my choosing, and that is 69.6 million gold, and that video took me about 15 minutes to make. So yeah, it's not bad. So currently, if I do faction flagged PvP in the yellows, where I just go and capture outposts and occasionally dive a blob, I make about 200,000 silver per hour doing that, which is pretty good, and 500,000 in fame tomes, which is also pretty darn good. That's like a couple levels. Like if you look right now, my axe specialization, which is, where is it at? Axe fighter. It takes 315,000 fame for the next level. So I would get maybe 1.5 levels. It would take, I would get close to 2 levels. Not quite 2 levels, in the high 80s, but, you know, that's not too bad. You know, you do this for 5 or 6 hours. That's about 12 levels, and, yeah, 12 levels is 12 levels, and that's, you know, 6 hours, that's 1.2 million silver that I didn't have before, and it's fun. That's the whole point of it, is it's fun to do, it's exciting, it's not boring, and you're growing your character, so what's not to love? Next up is making your own horses. So let me show you what that means, okay? If you buy a riding horse, not a riding rose, horse, I don't know why I typed rose, my brain's weird. Okay, so a riding horse, 27,996, but you want to sell this, not ride it. So you would sell it for 27,995 or whatever. Let me just show you on the screen here, okay? But to make this horse, all you need is your own island with a tier 3 saddler, which is super cheap, and you can saddle hundreds of horses before you need to feed the thing, or, well, I have a members only secret for that one. I've already shilled the members only thing today in the video, so if you missed it, rewind. So, let's say you just want to buy the Journeyman's horse instead. Journeyman's, no apostrophe, horse. So to buy just the horse is 16,000, and then to buy the 20 thick leather is 16,000 plus 2,460. You're paying 18,460 to make the exact same thing, And then if you sell that horse after you made it, you've profited 9,536 silver. And this applies to all mounts. So you can do, what is that, stag? What is the stag mount? Like, tame giant stag. This is not the rideable one. This is 69,000. And then the rideable one is 79,000. And the rideable one is just 20 tier 4 leather, which is, what was it called? Worked leather. So, 20 of this leather is not going to be 10,000. It's 4,500. So that's another 5,000 flip for stags. You can do this with oxes. You can do this with swift claws. Let's see what swift claw. Swift claw cub. No, you want the grown ones, obviously. So here, let's go to mount. So a swift claw is 216,000, but a grown swift claw is, well, tame. Really? A tame swift claw is 174. Okay. 174. And what? 20 tier 5 leather? 174 plus cured leather. Not cursed. Cured leather. Okay, 20 of those. So that's kind of a break even right there, or that's about 10 to 20 actually. No, 10 to 20,000 silver for that flip. So those are really simple and basic flips, and all you need is a saddler. Like, you don't want to use the ones in town currently because they're overcharging. You want to build your own, and building your own is super cheap. It does not take a lot of resources at all. You just you go to your, you'll need an island though. That's the hard part. All right, and then you go to Saddler, and you build yourself a Saddler, and you upgrade it to tier... It's already going to be tier 3, and then you would upgrade it to tier 4. Also, here's the new mount, the Caerleon Cottontail, that's coming out. Spoiler alert. So this is interesting. And now, bonus tips. Bonus tip number 1 is always sell on the weekends and never buy, because everything is more expensive. So it's more to your benefit to sell things for a higher price. Buy during the weekdays. Like, I don't even update my buy orders on the weekends. I just let them sit and rot. And if they go through, they go through. If not, I'll update them on Monday. And this is true for East as well. Tip number 2. If you can hold it, if you can stand it, wait until the refining day. You'll come about the refining day, I would say every 20 days, but sometimes it's longer. I've been waiting on Hide Day on West for about 34 days now. It hasn't happened in 34 days. Oh man, and I've got a lot of hide to refine. But yeah, wait for the special day, then refine at least your tier 2 hide, or be the first person to log in that day before the merchants log in and raise the prices on their benches. Also, tip number 3, always use buy and sell orders. So, if you want to buy something, like for instance carrot seeds, you would do a buy order and then try to get it cheaper, because if you're buying it for the sell order price, then you're paying extra. You just have to reward yourself with that patience. Yeah, you won't get it right away, but you eventually will get it. The best time to do your buy ordering is right before you go to bed. You set all your buy orders and then you go to bed, and then depending on how long you sleep, you wake up and everything is purchased. And to you, it's like, oh, you just blacked out for a few seconds, and then, hey, everything went through, and it saved you a bunch of silver. Isn't that cool? And real quick, before we end the video, I just want to draw you some quick little pictures here. So this is a graph, all right? And then your money, if you just constantly gather, it's going to look like this at first, at, like, say, tier 4, all right? And then at tier 5, it's going to pick up a little bit. You know, you're going to make a little bit more. And then tier 6, you know, tier 7, right? And then when you hit tier 8 Avalonian tool, it's going to be like this. And so money goes up, you know, like this is time, okay? And then this is money. So essentially with tier 8 gathering, you're going to be making way more than with your tier 4 set. All right, but at the same time, let's do another quick little graph, and let me explain investing in yourself. So, that is not the right tool for that. Okay, so here's the graph. Once again, you got your tier 8 gathering, and so your money looks like this. Now, let's say you buy a better mount, and you buy better weapons, and you buy things that you're never going to take into the black zone, because these are things to farm yellow zones with. So your money go down. Your money go all the way down, right? And then, you know, because you're gathering, your money still goes up at the same rate, but you're able to PvP better, you're able to do PvE activities better, and so on and so forth. Then you decide to do a whole bunch of buy orders like I showed you earlier for flipping reasons. Well, your money goes back down. The thing is, your money will always increase at a steady rate because you are a gatherer. Because you have tier 8 gathering, you have the tier 8 gathering tools, the Avalonian tool, you will never not be able to make money and generate money for anything you need. So you continue generating money and you buy that 8.4 weapon. Look at that. But again, you have this weapon forever. It's fine. And then you can continue to build back up your money. It's that simple. But at some point, you know, you're building up your money, and then after a while, you're like, I want to max out more specs. So you spend it all on combat fame credits using a satchel and auto respec, and so your money starts going down slowly, and then, you know, you stop fame farming, and then you gather more. So your money is always working for you. All right, so you're gathering, you're making that money, you're making that dosh. All right, and then depending, like on East, you can buy premium. So you buy your premium. And now, not only do you have money from gathering, but now you have money from your farms. So the graph now looks like this whenever you start farming. Here's you gathering, okay? And then here is your farm. So you're growing crops, you know. It's not much money at first, but let's say you grow crops for 3 months and you max it out and your daily focus, you got multiple farms now, you got multiple islands. Well, hey, look, now it's like this. All right, and then you use those crops that you've been growing this whole time, and you start a crafter. Now, your crafter, you know, it's down here. But let's say you max out your crafter and your crop growers. Well, guess what? Your crafter is just going to do this. Okay, so this is what the graph looks like. You're gathering, it flatlined because you're not gathering anymore. You don't need to. Why would you gather when you have a crafter that makes this every day? Okay, and because you're making this every day, well, guess what? Your fame farming went from like that. Your fame farming is now like this. Okay, your fame farming just exponentially exploded, so you're able to max out all the weapons that you want in the entire game. All right, and then, you know, you use that to buy a mammoth, and now you can not only craft, but you can also transport your crafted goods with the mammoth, and now it's just pachom. It's like, that is how money generation works in this game. You're not going to be able to just start the game as a solo player and just expect your money to just go up. It's not going to happen. It's going to be a slow and steady climb, and the more bumps you have, the sharper that it gets, okay? That's just how it goes, all right? Now, it can go the other way. Let's say you're a bow crafter, because this happened to me, right? I became a pretty prominent bow crafter and wood gatherer on the Old West server. Well, at some point the bow crafting crashed, so bow crafting costed me money, so that was a downward trend. And then there were too many bots in the game, so my gathering almost flatlined. That can happen. But, you know, that's why I just switched from gathering wood to skinning, and hey, look, skinning got pretty good. So, I know I've made a similar video of this graph, but I wanted to make this specifically for East, and just help you guys out. Just to show you money, like the more you play and the more you invest in your character. And yeah, this area is a little loud. Everyone's dueling and slashing and hacking each other to pieces. So I'm going to run somewhere else. But guys, that's the video, okay? That's how to make money. I did the math for you. I showed you how to do the math too. Go out there, make you some silver. There's plenty of ways to do it. All of these things that I've covered are in separate videos on my channel. Just go to my channel, use the search function, type in a keyword. I've got over 500 videos on this game. I have covered everything head to toe for a solo guildless player. Obviously, I haven't covered group things like hardcore expeditions or castle sieges because I don't have friends, I don't have guilds. I don't do that kind of stuff because I just don't get along with people. So everything else, though, I have covered. Feel free to subscribe. I read every comment. Don't be afraid to ask any kind of questions you may have. That's all I've got for you. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the next video. Click the video on the right side of your screen right now. It's a good one. Take care.